Hello, everyone, and welcome back in to episode number 11 of the Bet on Me podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Perkins. It's Wednesday, December 15th. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Last night, Steph Curry shattered record books. He broke Ray Allen's record of 2,973 three-pointers made. Ray Allen did that in 1,300 games. Steph broke his record last night. He ended the game with 2,977 3 points made. Steph did that in 789 games. It's a 511 game difference. Reggie Miller's number 3 all time. He hit 2,560. He did that in 1,389 games, which is notable because Reggie's the man. Remember that time Reggie picked up Kobe and slammed him on the announcer table? It's an all-time favorite moment. Kobe is my favorite player of all time. I think Kobe's the greatest. At me if you disagree. I don't care. I'll go at you all day against that. I do not. That is one thing I will argue. Kobe is better than any player other than MJ. But Michael's in a league of his own. And if you don't think Michael's the greatest, we're probably not going to agree on a lot of things. But I'm not somebody that doesn't think LeBron's not good. I have friends and acquaintances and people that I know that have kind of talked me into, okay, LeBron might be decent. No, LeBron's good. Just not much of a fan. Anyway, last night the game kind of lackluster other than Curry hitting, his threes to get it going, beat that record. The night before that, we had Monday Night Football, and man, what a game was that, guys. I mean, Cooper Kupp scoring a touchdown. We had James Conner scoring a couple. I had a parlay, Cooper Kupp scoring 2, James Conner scoring 2, and at the end of the game, I got to tell you, I was jumping up and down out of my chair. I couldn't handle it. Face mask on Matthew Stafford, not called. He could have pulled it. A lot of us thought he could have pulled the trigger. I was scrolling through Twitter, the guys that I follow on there. A lot of people thought he could have pulled the trigger. Should have maybe got the flag there. Gave it to Cooper about 3 times down there in the end zone. He could have got that. That would have been a nice win for a lot of people. Didn't hit though, but we already had Cooper scoring 1 and James Conner scoring 1, but we had the Cardinals winning the game, and we didn't get that right. Obviously, the Rams came out to play. A lot of people, including myself, think in the absence of Jalen Ramsey that the Rams wouldn't be as good defensively, and they were. Obviously, the Arizona Cardinals are a completely different team at home as opposed to when they're on the road. When they're on the road, they dominate teams. When they're at home, they don't play as well for some reason. But that'll all get worked out in the wash, I'm sure, down the ways as we get closer to the playoffs. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs, I think. I think both those teams will be in the playoffs. I think this year's playoffs are going to be amazing. I really do. If everybody can stay healthy. I know right now a lot of players are out due to COVID. While I'm doing the podcast, I really don't scroll through Twitter or Instagram to see what's going on in any of the news, but I do know a lot of players are out. I think one of them that I saw for sure was Baker Mayfield's out due to COVID. I know the entire Chicago Bulls team basically got, like, all the starters and bench players got COVID or contact trace, so they're all out. They postponed a game they were supposed to play, which I wanted to bet on, but let's just hope all those guys are safe. A lot going on right now out there, so when you're making these bets this week, I really don't want to give out any bets today, and that being the main reason. I'll give a couple out, but don't take these to the bank, guys, because tonight you don't really know who's going to be starting and who's not going to be starting, because up until the game, things are going to change tonight with contact trace and who was next to who and who had COVID. And even games could be canceled. So be on the lookout for that, because games have already been canceled. So if enough people have been around someone who's had it, they'll cancel the damn game. So let's make sure we're watching all that tonight while we're watching these games. just certain games. NBA has a pretty decent slate tonight, so just make sure that nobody's out in the game you're wanting to bet on. Like tonight, you could take Denver at home. Denver at home against the Timberwolves. That'd be a good game to probably put some money on. I'd take the Spurs at home against Charlotte. I wouldn't be afraid to put some money on that. I think the Lakers win. I took the Lakers earlier at plus a point, and now they're at minus a point and a half. So that's in the money line's minus 120, but Dallas is plus 102 to win or to lose the game. To win the game there, sorry, on the money line. Plus a point and a half. That'd be a good game to watch right there. I'm gonna watch that game because I got the Lakers plus a point and a half. That's the only game that I saw tonight that I really liked was the Lakers and Dallas Mavericks. Lakers coming in to get a win there tonight. I'm not sure what the situation is on anybody being out or in, but like I said, as we get closer to game time, we'll know. If you guys follow me on the socials, Instagram or Twitter, at Bet On Me Podcast, at Bet On Me, I believe is what the handle is on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Bet On Me. So if you follow me there, or at Bet On Me Pod, I'm not quite sure. Let me look at that to make sure real quick. Well, I'm telling you guys the right address here to be following. Yeah, at Bet On Me Pod is what you want to look for on Twitter and Instagram there. And if you find me there, I'll be tweeting updates. I'll be retweeting things where people are saying they're out. I follow NBA insiders. Try to get all the best information to make these bets. And as far as college ball, I really haven't looked into any college ball this week. I've watched a couple podcasts on college ball, but really haven't made. I don't like to pick college ball around this time. I want to wait until it gets a little bit later in the season, after Christmas. You really know who's who, because right now you've got these games, and I'm sure you guys have seen them. These upsets, and these upsets are crazy. I love watching them, but there's just so many games going on. I get on ESPN Plus and I turn it on. There's literally 40 games. I can't watch all those. I keep up with NBA, NFL, and NHL. Speaking of NHL, let's go ahead and see if we can find us a pick there tonight in the NHL. We've got some good games going on. Not sure how the COVID Omicron is affecting any of that. The Bing Bong parlay didn't hit last night. They had the Bing Bong Part 2 parlay. That didn't hit last night. So, New York, keep betting on all your teams in a parlay. I'm sure the sports books love it. Probably take the Capitals tonight at home. That'd probably be a good idea. A lot of people might be on the Rangers. I'd take the Coyotes plus a puck and a half. The Krakens and the Ducks, like I said, I wouldn't bet on the Kraken games if you gave me money to go bet on the Kraken games anymore. And the Sharks and Canucks, I'd probably take the Sharks at home. Money line. Here it's getting closer to the holidays. These games are crazy. Teams are tired. Now people are getting put out because of COVID. I mean, this is now the line's changing on the Miami Heat, Philly Sixers. Yeah, lines are changing. Lines are going to be changing all day, folks. My best advice today would honestly be wait to put in bets until maybe 30 minutes before your game starts. Watch it on television. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go to the site of the team that you like. Find out. Go to ESPN.com, go to wherever you got to go, find out who's playing, who's not, because the lines are changing, and it's because people are dropping like flies. And it's not because anything other than they're not allowed to be around people, so they can't play. So I wouldn't be surprised tonight if we saw a game get canceled. I'm probably wrong, and I'm probably overreacting. But I'm just saying, the way some of these states are with these laws and these rules, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them did. I can tell you right now, there's gonna be more people not play tonight. I can promise you that. That is something I would put money on. I would bet on that. I would bet on that there's gonna be more people out of games tonight due to contact tracing or just COVID in general. I don't know. But it's going to be a fun weekend due to this. The NFL, I haven't even looked at it yet, but I know it's quite a few. I know it's over 40 people already, and that's not an exaggeration. I'm pretty sure it's more than that. So this weekend should be wild. We wish a speedy recovery to everyone out there struggling with that right now. Want all those guys to get back out there on the field as quick as they can, playing the game they love to play, and to live a long, long life and prosper. About over this COVID shit. But it is something we have to deal with, so be respectful to your fellow neighbor, Even if you don't agree with what they agree with, try to be respectful. Boundaries and all that. Anyway, guys, that's the podcast for today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Daniel Perkins, and don't forget, hurry up and go get those bets in.